heard of the movie Five Nights at Freddy's, right? I just edited the real poster right here and made my own poster. So we've all heard of it, right? That movie for 2023, extremely popular, especially among like young people. Well, it was a bomb per se. Let me explain. So the Oscars are pro movie, best actor, best director, best actress, best movie. The Razzies are opposite of Oscars. If you didn't know, worst actor, worst actress, worst director, worst uh film. And this actually got a Razzie nomination. The real Five Nights at Freddy's. And it was like a big flop, you know, or it was like it was a big critical flop, that kind of stuff. This what I'd do if I made my own Five Nights at Freddy's. First, I would have three people in the three main characters, not one, like they had in the real movie. Three. Well, to be fair, I've never seen the real Five Nights at Freddy's, but there's gonna be one guy, or three guys, sorry, or three people, let's just say, who all get the job. So yeah. So then the first film I would have these guys, yeah, and then like the first film, they survive, the animatronics, all that jazz. I think that's just what you gotta do with this Five Nights at Freddy's. Casting. Let's make a lot of people happy with Well, we can see the cast. These I'm doing this on my cast. It's an extremely fun site. You get to make movies and cast them. Okay, just look at this cast. Yeah, Tom Holland, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, all great. The second one, let me find it. Sorry, wrong spelling. Sorry, this is not mine. Okay, well I gotta find mine. Also, yeah, this is my cast. My most cast people. My God, sorry. I gotta find Five Nights at Freddy's Part 2. Then I would have no toy animatronics yet. I would have they escape, but then because I learned that it takes place in Utah, so let's go to the real Five Nights at Freddy's. So this takes place in Utah. So then the animatronics are gonna be hunting them down, obviously for revenge. Same cast, same deal. Then Five Nights at Freddy's Part 3. Sorry, I could not find anything better. This was just the AI generated cover that they gave me. I know I can make some pretty bad AI generated covers. Next, we're gonna introduce Springtrap into the mix, where he goes hunting them down. We're casting for Springtrap, who I'd cast as Springtrap. My boy Joaquin Phoenix. I told you in my other videos that I'm a massive that I really like Joaquin Phoenix. So it'd be just so awesome to see him as the villain. Then also, but that's not yet. No, I did not add these to my cast yet, but I will also have other Five Nights at Freddy's sequels or other plans. Like for example, I'd make a prequel called Afton. It'd be a lot like Joker, where it's like going to be the origin story of Afton with a brand new take on him. Then I would make a spin-off called State. I have not confirmed like the title or what I put as the title. I'm not 100% sure, but I'd have it something alongside Stage Fright, a Five Nights at Freddy's story, something like that. If I were to make a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, this is all hypothetical. And where I would have them where I would have these guys go to a concert where there's where there's a singer and the toy animatronics performing, but it all goes rogue. Casting, I would put Ryan Gosling, Mark Wahlberg. because I told you I like Ryan Gosling. And Mark Wahlberg, after Uncharted, I started to actually really like the guy. And I would make a fourth one with the toy animatronics. This is all hypothetical, again. And then I'd make a fifth one with Golden Freddy. Now, that would be it if I actually made a Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Or fictional franchise. Of course, this is not true. Also, you could find me on as Nathan Caster on my cast to see my ideas. I got some different things. I have my own little franchises on here. See, I even made a Star Wars movie. Sequels, ideas, spin-offs, all that jazz. So, yeah, that will be all for today. Of how I would make a reboot Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. And I want to see, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Drop down in the comments. First, what would you do for the Five Nights at Freddy's reboot? Like, oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to before I forget, I would make it R rated. I want to make it like a horror, real like horror film. So to make it a real horror film, I would rate it R. Yeah, this is just my list of most cast actors. Let's see, Scarlett Johansson, Michael Robbie, Tom Holland at like far front is crazy. Sorry. So yeah, and then drop down in the comments. One, what would you do if you had to make a Five Nights at Freddy's reboot? Who you cast, plots, different stuff like that. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.